Herzlich willkommen, Sianamgela, and welcome to the Bundesliga Connection with Chris Harrington on the SL Podcast in partnership with DW Berlin.
It's time for the latest from Germany's domestic football league, the Bundesliga, and more. For that, we are joined by Chris Harrington from our partner station Deutsche Welle in Berlin, Germany. Bayern Munich has the largest number of players in the semi-finals in Qatar.
Yeah, 6 players in total. Bayern have being represented in the Final Four. When you look at Morocco, France, Croatia, Argentina, of course, France is gonna have the lion's share of players with Kingsley Coman, Pavard, Upamecano, and Hernandez. Even though Hernandez is out due to injury, the Croatian side has Bayern's Stanisic on that team representing. But I'm looking no further than Bayern's Mazroui. He's playing for the Moroccan national team. And when you look at the magic they've been pulling off, slaying monsters left and right, not conceding any goals at all other than an own goal, they've been really magical. I mean, all of the odds, of course, would lean towards a Bayern player representing the defending cup champions France to advance, but Morocco's been representing the Arab world and the African world better than any other side before them in the history of the World Cup. So I'm pulling for the youngster Mazroui to bring that championship home in that Bayern locker room, because odds are a Bayern player will definitely have that locker room with them.
Germany and Bayern captain Manuel Neuer broke his leg while skiing, Chris. Where does this leave Bayern?
Yeah, he posted his image, from the hospital bed with a broken leg, saying he tried to clear his head and he went skiing. And it was quick. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. There's no telling. I mean, he's been battling with injuries in the past, but the big question is, what was Bayern's response? I mean, should he be skiing or not? He recently signed a contract extension, and how it works at Bayern, some dangerous sports are excluded, but it works on a case-by-case basis. That was what a former Bayern player had to say. So basically, Manuel Neuer must have received the green light to go skiing, and he actually needed a helicopter to retrieve him because he had his accident in such a high altitude. So it is a dangerous sport. I'm sure Bayern are going to rethink, their decisions when it comes to that contract language. But then the question is, who's going to be between the posts? Bayern have Alexander Nubel on loan. He's at AS Monaco, but it's unlikely that he'll come back because he wants playing time. So Sven Ulreich is going to be the go-to man. Other names have been thrown in the pot, like Savas, from Costa Rica, but that's unlikely. I think Sven Ulreich is going to have to hold it down for Bayern until Manuel Neuer recovers, because trying to lure Alexander Nubel, convincing him from getting less playing time perhaps when Neuer recovers is, just an unlikely scenario for a young goalkeeper. So Ulreich it is. Neuer's out for, trying to clear his head and breaking his leg while skiing.
Chris, Germany have decided to keep Hansi Flick as head coach. Is this a good decision?
Well, I think when you look at how close the European Championship is away, and then considering Germany is a host to that European Championship, it doesn't make sense to change things now. But personally, when you look at what Flick had to say, he chimed in talking about that he's missing a close friend and an ally in Oliver Bierhoff, who departed prior to this emergency meeting the German Football Association called to discuss Hansi Flick's future. But they are standing by him. They are standing behind him right now. And what other choice do they really have, with the short timetable ahead of the Euros? But they did mention other names. Thomas Tuchel was a name that was sounded out as a contingency. And then, of course, Jurgen Klopp is another name out there, that's a desired name as well to take over for the German national football team. But as it stands right now, I think Germany is between a rock and a hard place. There's all this dysfunction within the locker room. There's a Bayern camp versus everyone else in terms of the German players. And then the German Football Association has no choice but to keep Flick, because anyone knew this short a time ahead of the tournament could cause more damage. So it looks like it's a Band-Aid, in my opinion, until they figure things out after the tournament. But who knows? Maybe Flick pulls off a miracle and keeps his job after the European Championship commences.
Before we let you go, Chris, just like always, what else has hit your radar?
Yeah, a couple of news out there. Unfortunately, it's a dark cloud over the World Cup in Qatar. There was one reported journalist, a U.S. sports journalist, Grant Wall, that collapsed during a World Cup match and was pronounced dead when he was taken to the hospital. And another journalist, a photojournalist, Khalid Al-Muslam from Qatari news channel. He died on Saturday. And right now, the reasons are still unknown, and it just goes to show whatever is happening out there. Of course, we're attracted to the football and things like this, but in these personal situations, these circumstances, with people just doing their job, trying to do it to the best of their ability, hopefully, the governments, work in conjunction with the Qatari government and try to resolve answers, because I'm sure this is painful news, not only for the world of football and the world of journalism, but also for the families of the lives lost.
Thank you very much for the Bundesliga update, Mr. Chris Harrington from our partner station Deutsche Welle in Berlin, Germany. Have a fantastic day further.
Danke und auf Wiedersehen.
The Bundesliga Connection is a team effort driven by the following incredible individuals. The show is hosted by Aidan Hewitt and Chris Harrington. It is produced by Chris Harrington. It is edited by Aidan Hewitt and Uli Presch, and graphics are provided by David Scullard.